Marc Morano. He's with us. Now, Marc is the publisher of the Climate Depot, and he's not big on global warming. But Marc, welcome to the show. Would you say that Biden's EV push is a bust, or is that going too far?
No, it's an absolute bust, but it's a dangerous bust because the more these plans tend to fail, the more they tend to double down on the failure. So let's hope that Jeff has a much better time than his transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg, or his energy secretary, Jennifer Granholm. In the case of Energy Granholm, when she tried to drive cross country in her EV, she had NPR along for the PR value, and they ended up blocking the only free charger spot with a family with a baby during a heat wave in August. And NPR even reported on this critically. So almost $8 billion the Biden administration's authorized for this EV charging stations, and they haven't even, they originally said they hadn't built any. There may have been one built. I think they scrounged around and found one. This was according to Politico. Here's the bottom line. When you have a situation where a government is mandating you can only drive one car, and make no mistake, that's not only happening with government, it's happening with corporations. You have Australian banks. We're not going to give out car loans to people who buy car loans. This is akin to the East German government saying you can only buy the crappy East German Trabant two-cylinder and you can wait 8, 10, 12 years for it. They're forcing a situation on the American people that we didn't vote for and that we don't want. And we know we don't want it because all you got to do is look at the EV sales. All you got to do is look at all the automakers coming out saying they're sitting on our lot. We don't want to be part of this anymore. The Buick dealers opting out. Good luck to Jeff as he drives cross country, but we'll see how it turns out for him.
All right, Marc, next one for you. The Environmental Law Institute. That's an organization funded by left-wing non-profits. They are quietly training judges how to prepare for cases related to climate change. How do you train judges on climate? What's this all about?
This is just yet another way. Remember, when Biden was elected president, they decided to make every cabinet agency a climate agency. They also bonded up with the Treasury Department, working with environment, social governance, so the banking industry wouldn't fund fossil fuel. Now what they're doing, and these are all ways to bypass democracy. Remember, the Green New Deal was introduced in Congress, but there was never a hearing, never a vote. There were no town halls. There were no switchboards lighting up. Why? Because they don't need no stinking democracy. They're instead now, this is where the courts come in. They want to now legislate via the benches, in the federal benches. So you have lawsuits springing up all over the United States. The most recent one was in Montana, where the kids won. And now you have a new one in California with kids as young as 8 suing Biden's EPA in order to essentially ensure their climate future. So what they've decided is the activists, climate activists, are going to train these judges on how they can rule in their favor. And these are usually typically Democrat-appointed judges, activists themselves, and they're eating all this up so that they can issue rulings that will withstand higher court, in many cases probably up to the Supreme Court, scrutiny. And of course, the problem here is you can't have federal judges, you can't have executive agencies trying to change the temperature of the earth or reduce the frequency of hurricanes. We're taking another, I mentioned East Germany earlier, Stuart. We're taking a page back now to the old Aztec industry where you had Aztec priests say, you must do the following or the weather's going to get you. And that's what we're seeing now. The judges have to rule a certain way or the weather's going to get us. You have to buy an EV or a hurricane or flood or tornado is going to get us.
There's a scare tactic. Marc Morano, Climate Depot. Thanks so much, Marc. We'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.